Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Vino Volley. I'm your host, Michael Wall, and along with me, as always, my co-host, my very mustachioed co-host, Ryan Rebecki.
Mike, a lot of things have gone awry in the last couple of weeks. One of which being the appearance of my face in this very moment.
So, before you get too down on yourself, there are not a lot of people in this world that can pull off a mustache.
Appreciate that.
So,
Tom
Selleck,
Freddie Mercury,
Teddy Roosevelt.
the bull moose himself. Yeah, so there's that.
Wade Boggs.
Wade Boggs.
Okay.
Dennis Eckersley.
Yeah. So anyway, you are in an echelon of people that can pull off the mustache. It looks great on you, so mistakes happen, but it looks good.
Happy accidents.
So anyway, how are you?
I've been through an emotional roller coaster over the last, I would say, week or so. We had our soccer seasons wrap up over this past weekend. My oldest son's team, we didn't win a game.
You didn't win a single game?
No, we had a couple ties and a couple very close losses.
That was different from last season, right?
Yes.
You were pretty
good.
We
were up a higher division.
Okay.
We were playing some of our best soccer, but we just didn't have like a true natural goal scorer who just like had the eye for net.
Yeah.
Defense was awesome, but we were losing games 1-0, 2-1. Anyway, where I'm going with this, Mike, and you have not heard this yet. You're hearing this live.
No, this is a world exclusive.
Very similar to Premier League, where I feel like we very commonly say VAR strikes again. The referees strike again. I spent numerous hours last Thursday and Friday, on the phone with the directors of my local town sports soccer league, pleading the case for one of my assistant coaches.
Now, I'll pause, as for those who may have picked up the podcast on this episode, there have been previous instances with Ryan's coaching that he had what we would have considered a very adult, amicable conversation with a referee, and was then docked a one-match ban, and was proceeded to tell you that in no circumstances whatsoever can you speak to a referee, which is an absolute farce for the game.
Correct.
So that's the backstory. Continue, my friend.
So last week we were trying to make up all the rain delay games, so we had 3 games in a week, which was great. I love it. The kids loved it. We were playing the second game of the week. Same team. We played them on Tuesday. We played them again on Thursday. And the Thursday game was intense. It was well played. We ended up in a 1-1 tie, and they beat us by a few goals the game before. So we were playing out of our minds.
Okay.
Now, where things went south.
I'm grinning. I'm like nervous grinning.
No, my chest just like tightened up. So in order to coach in and under the guise of the Bays Soccer Association, you need to wear a lanyard with a picture ID on it.
Okay.
You are not allowed to coach if you do not have your ID.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
It was myself, my assistant coach, and then I have 2 other assistant coaches. Usually they alternate who's on the sideline. One who's been my assistant coach since we've started travel. He's the most just soft-spoken, super nice guy. He's on the sideline. He's kind of managing the subs and kind of keeping track of time a little bit. Like he's not walking the line like my other coach and I are. And the referee stops the game. It was like throw in. She's like, "Hey, are you a coach?" He's like, "Oh yeah." She's like, "Where's your credentials?" He's like, "Oh, it's in my coaching bag. Like whatever, I'll find them." So the game's stopped. He's like, you know what? I must have left it in the car. Like, I'll go get it. He's like, you know what? I'll go stand with the parents. Like, it's fine. I don't want to slow things down.
Feathers. Yeah, sure.
I'll be a spectator. There's 2 coaches here. It's fine.
I don't want to make it about me.
Correct.
Okay.
And so he walks around. He's standing with the other parents. Game proceeds. Ball goes out on the other side, past the end line. Right? Wellesley kid brings it back in and plays a ball that I think was almost a scoring chance. Like it either like rang the post. They didn't go in, but it was like controversial. As the kid's bringing the ball back in, he's like, "That ball's out." And the referee, like, still, the play is still going on, goes, "Excuse me?" He's like, "The ball was like 3 feet out of bounds." Like, I could see it where I was 30 yards away.
Yeah.
That it was well out of bounds. But I am now,
right.
you know.
Hands tied.
Yeah. So halftime whistle. She comes right over to myself and my assistant coach. Goes, "You need to tell your assistant coach to quiet down, or I'm going to ask him to leave." I'm like, "Okay, like what could he have said?"
Yeah.
Game wraps up. She had very little control over the pace of the game. Like, she was losing control based on the pace of the game and like the increasing physicality and the stress that came with the game. To the point where she was involved in the play 3 times. She got hit with the ball. And there were another couple times where, like, she had to get out of the way. She missed a handball in the box that would have, odds are, like, we've got a couple good kids who could take PKs. Anyway, I am at school the next day. I check my personal email. I'm like, "Hey, can we talk to you about the game last night?" I'm like, "Okay." I figured it was the opposing coach who several times during the game had actually thrown himself on the ground, like knees down, hands on head in disbelief that a call was either made or not made. So I'm like, "Oh, fuck this guy. Like, we're going to bag him right here. Like, it's because he's going to get a suspension or 0 tolerance." And they're like, "No, it's about your assistant coach." I'm like, "Well, my other guy didn't say anything." I was like, "Who?" Get on the phone, hour-long conversation. The referee had written up my other assistant coach, who at this point has no credentials. He is not coaching.
Right.
He is a parent. He
Yep.
is a spectator.
Yep.
Had written him up as a 0 tolerance 2, which means he automatically gets a 1-game suspension, no questions asked, so he couldn't see his kid's last game of the season this past Saturday. To which case I said, "The fuck are we doing?" That a teenage girl or guy, she happened
Sure.
to be a female, but like a referee who might have a hair across because, you know, she's hearing them from parents or hearing them from coaches, or like they feel like they are losing control of the game, decides to whip out a big swinging dick and say, "No, fuck that guy." Like, he gets caught in the crosshairs and nothing can be done about it. So I spent 2 hours on the phone last week being like, "No, this can't happen. The system is broken. You have people who can barely do their job controlling so much of the game to the point where a referee at this level, at any level, is should cater to the game. They're there to serve the players. They're there to serve the coaches. They're there to serve the parents by calling a fair and equitable game. The pendulum has swung so far.
They're judge, jury, executioner.
So far in the other direction that whatever they say goes. And I could have had all my parents write letters. I could have, composed a letter all the way to Bays, to all members of my soccer board or whatever, and it wouldn't have mattered because this girl thought that he spoke up to her too much.
And it was just the one time.
One time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bonus item this, but this is how fucked up the situation is refereeing wise. Another game, same day, sibling of one of my players. I heard this from a parent. Coach shows up and doesn't have 2 copies of the team's roster.
Okay.
So he's like, "Hey, I got it on my phone," and the head referee of our soccer organization, who's a real fucking piece of work, is like, "You've got 10 minutes to produce a roster, or like this game is being forfeited and like it's not being played." Right? So this guy, boom, hops in his car, goes to Staples, makes 2 copies, comes back, and the referee had already pulled the referees, because it was 3 referees because they're on 9v9, pulled the assistant and the head referees off and said, 10 minutes is up, like, we're not going to referee this game. I'm here to make sure these kids get paid, even though they did not work the game. So the coaches of both teams got together and were like, "Listen, we'll do the best we can, and we'll be line judges, and we'll referee just to get the game in so it's not a waste of time." That's where we're at. And I do this voluntarily. I've not gotten my coach's check in the mail. So that's what's been going on in the world of soccer in my life. So for all of you out there, understand that, and I hope this doesn't occur anywhere else, and it's just like this small little micro environment in central Massachusetts where like everything is ass backwards, but I have a feeling the more people I talk to, they say that it's so fucked up everywhere, and we've gotten so...
We've lost the plot.
We've lost...
To quote, like, plenty of European, like, you lost the plot.
Yeah.
I, like, listening to you, obviously audio medium, but, like, my heart started to race.
Yeah.
Like, getting viscerally angry. We obviously, we said it the first time, and just to compound, it is inexcusable to think that someone cannot have an disagree.
Yeah.
That's basically what it boils down to, is you cannot disagree with anyone.
Yeah.
Which is
what precedent are we setting for the kids? And like if you came to one of these games, you're the best fan in the whole world. You are animated. You're coaching kids up on the sidelines. You're congratulating fair play.
I get a lifetime ban after one game.
Honestly, like, you might get just being like, oh, like, that was a good tackle. Be like, no, fuck this guy. Like, he's got to go. That's
and again,
where we're
like,
at.
I obviously, like, I mean, I don't know all the ins and outs of the rules for each level, so I may see something that I think shouldn't be in. But again, like you said, like, you know, always more on the positive side, like, you know, telling kids to, like, take shots, like, hustle, things like that. Like, that's the beauty of sport, is it's the competitive nature. And what else are you going to do? Like, the whole point is to win, which is advocating for your side. You're advocating for them to be the best that they can. And when things don't go their way, because these kids are trying so hard, there needs to be someone who advocates for them. And we need to be able to disagree with somebody. You can't just have, like I said, judge, jury, executioner. You can't have all authority for what says and goes. Like, if you make a mistake, someone has the right to challenge you in a respectful way.
Correct.
Again, you can't, like, they're still kids. You're not going to curse them out.
Right.
You're not going to continue to berate them, but you have a right in that moment to state your case. And, like, I mean, we see it in all the sports. Most likely, is it going to make a difference? No. But there's a chance that after that altercation, if someone's smart about it, they're going to take that in and be like, okay, I'm aware of it. It won't happen again. You know, so, or you know, let's say perfect world scenario, there's a makeup call. But it's just, it's so ridiculous to think that you cannot voice an opinion. That's basically what it is.
It's so bad. Like, it really is. But let's not dwell on the negative. Mike, how have you been after my several minute absolute
I'm like
emotional
I'm trying to
rampage.
think of, like, trying to remember the good here. I'm still. I'm just gonna it's gonna take me a second.
You've been great.
I'm still. Yeah, I think I've been fine. Healthy, you know. Been enjoying. I'll say I've been enjoying the nice weather.
Oh yeah.
I've been enjoying playing golf. I've been enjoying the tournaments that we have going on, the Euros that are starting to kick off after the friendlies. We've got the Copa America. So, you know, obviously it's always great when there's soccer to be watched, because there was that lull. So on the whole, I am doing great. Mm-hmm. But as, you know, your close friend and as one who very much has a, you know, strong opinion, strong voice, and freedom of speech.
Yeah.
It is, I'm losing the ability to voice my opinion here without just getting viscerally angry and just start swearing, just like voicing expletives. Like,
and you and I are very similar when it comes to things that make us angry, and we're very passionate about things. Now imagine being on the sideline, not being able to say anything and having to just swallow.
See, that's like, I mean, that in itself isn't, like, there needs to be an outlet too. Like, you need to be able to disagree, because if not, there's studies that, you know, this is when, like, the terminology going postal.
Yeah.
Like, you bottle everything up, eventually it's going to come out, and, like, God forbid who's on the wrong end of it. You know,
I'm just ripping the nets off of the
right.
goalpost with my teeth.
Your kid, like, accidentally spills his drink in the car. He's just like, I'm putting you up for adoption. Just like, oh, well, wonder where that came from. So it's just like, you know.
Yeah, what a time to be alive. School's almost over, though.
There you go.
I've got 2 days of finals left, and it is a thing of beauty.
Yeah. excited for you.
Ready to be done. Year 16 in the books.
16. Wow.
Year 16. But not to segue too quickly, I think we're in for a real treat tonight. And I don't know what type of treat, but we're in for one.
So before we get to that, as
Big
always,
marketees.
we'll want to note our outlets within social media to contact us. And I'm going to bring the phone up here. So
Yeah, please do.
Because I've said the website different like 4 different times. So I was like, I have it saved on my phone. So first of all, Vino Volley 85 Instagram account.
The best way.
The best way.
Yeah.
Access it through the Instagram account, vinovolley85@gmail.com. But you can also access the website, which actually is, I don't think we've promoted it in a little while, but besides like getting a little bio from Ryan and I do keep it up to date on the wines we've drank, our overall thoughts on it, our scores, and then a link through Vivino, so you can at least see the bottle. So if you did, if you take any of what we say to heart and agree with or like our thoughts on it, you can go purchase it yourself. So that website is vinovolley85.wixsite.com/vinovolley.
Beautiful. Mike has made it so easy for all of you to not only see our beautiful faces, but to access the wine and for you to do your own research, you to see if you agree, disagree.
Yeah, it'd be great. I mean,
get weird with it.
The way we choose these is I try and tie them to the episode topic, as I'll obviously get in where this ties in again. So I have no idea if these are good or bad. We've kind of hit the wide range of the spectrum here. So, if it's a type that you like, give it a go. Let us know your thoughts. Tell us if we're fucking don't know what we're talking about or we're right on the money. We really just want feedback.
Yeah. I know our buddy Juan reached out to me.
He's missing in action on the most punchable faces.
A little while ago, and he mentioned how he grabbed a bottle that we recommended highly.
The Brecca, right?
Yeah, and brought it to a party. It was like a huge hit.
That's exactly what we want, is those ones that we kind of find like the diamond in the rough, the ones that bat above their, so that's awesome. But to that, we will get to it. So to all our Vino Volleyers out there, it is time to pop those corks, indulge in a healthy pour, and dive stud showing into today's episode. So Ryan, would you do us the grand honor of telling the people what we will be drinking today, so I can tell it how it all ties into the topic and we can get drinking.
So this evening we are going to be drinking the Stolpman Vineyards La Vieux Banches Carbonic Sangiovese.
That was Love You Bunches.
What?
Right?
Love You Banches.
Okay. Yeah.
2021. It is a Central Coast, California Sangiovese. All right, winemaker notes.
Hit it.
Serve cold! Exclamation point.
We are not.
That's the first exclamation point I think I've seen, because they're grammar.
We are not serving it cold.
2021 strikes a wonderful balance between the fleshier, warmer 2020 vintage. Your eyes right now.
I don't care for fleshier.
And the more angular, high-toned 2018 and 19 versions. Riper red berry fruit sings over the tart finish, resulting in a pleasurable, quenching crunch.
I'm still lost on fleshy's got me.
A perfected adult version of Sour Patch Kids candy. Yeah, your facial expressions to this are it's.
I don't.
You're taking me on an adventure right now. A floaty fleshiness develops by the second glass, which, by the way, arrives quickly. Is wine trying to seduce us?
All I can think of now is just flaying like a flap of skin, and it's just like flipping in the wind. That's what flesh. It's really
with some mellowing watermelon notes on the mid palate.
Watermelon notes, okay.
Yeah.
I will say the flavor notes are jammy. The Sour Patch Kid, that might be overpowering the watermelon. If it's watermelon Sour Patch Kids, hell yeah.
Yeah, you're.
But still, I don't like. Fleshy is just a weird word to use. Not once, but twice.
Yo, yeah, they're really hitting the flesh notes.
I guess that's my moist, maybe?
Seepage. Anyway, it is a lower ABV coming in at 12.5%, which is why I would imagine they mentioned like the second glass comes quickly.
All right. So to kind of tell how
it's the floaty fleshiness that arrives quickly.
Floaty. I don't know what that means, but it makes my skin crawl.
Well, we're gonna taste it.
I'm gonna need to kind of get that out of my head. So let me explain to the people how we came upon this. So obviously the title was Love You Bunches, and there's always, whether it's really on the nose or loosely, we try and link the wine to the topic. And this week we are talking about players you love to hate and players you hate to love. And so this bottle simply, I literally typed into Yankee Wine and Spirits where I got the wine. So shout out to Yankee Wine and Spirits where I've gotten all the wine. It's great selection. I've never run in and just been like, I can't find anything that I'm looking for. They have such an amazing selection, great prices. So shout out to them. But anyway, I literally was on their website, typed in love, and this came up, and I searched to the aisles and found it. So that's where it ties in, simply just the word love, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So let's get those glasses.
Yeah. From a distance, it's definitely lighter in color. I can see that, even with the excellent lighting down here. That was a good one. Very light in color. A very, very light ruby-ish plum color.
Yes, it is. I mean, completely transparent. I can see your face on the other side of it.
See my power stash?
Yeah, and holding it up to light even more so. But I mean, it's a beautiful ruby color. It's not,
it's a sexy color,
and it's got. I mean, for such a lighter wine. It's got some decent legs.
Better than the last episode. I feel like those, with the booze, just evaporate.
That thing was a powerhouse. I did not feel good the next day.
It smells lighter. This actually smells like the first year wine that we made together.
Just the straight Malbec from Juice?
Straight up Malbec.
You remember that smell?
Yeah, dude. There is a lot of weird things I remember. It does. It smells just like that.
I mean, if we're talking
color palette too.
Again, we did it from Juice. We didn't do it from Grape, so it's always going to be thinner. But yeah, I mean, reminiscent of it. I'm trying to gauge what I'm getting on the nose. I'm definitely smelling the candy, the candied berries on the nose. Not more watermelon, but I think and we've had it a little bit. What?
You get the watermelon.
Do you get the watermelon?
Towards the end, yeah.
All right, let's...
I can see why they say serve it cold, because it is definitely lighter.
Yeah.
This is a warm day.
A nice, if you still want to have a red wine, but you want... Yeah.
You want to get those antioxidants going. Super light, very smooth. But yeah, there is a candy element to it.
Yeah. I don't get the watermelon Jolly Rancher, but I definitely get the candy. It is super light. It's got just a, not overpowering, but it does finish dry. I mean, for such a light wine, it's got some complexities to it, which is nice. It is refreshing.
Yeah.
I honestly, I think it would be good cold, but I mean, I don't mind it I pulled it from the fridge.
Yeah, room to chilled.
I'm not getting any bits of flesh, human flesh.
You haven't got any flesh nuggets? Oh.
That's what,
oh my god,
that'll make you pucker. Definitely the red fruit.
I'm getting fucking red Jolly Rancher.
Cherry?
I hope not. Gross flavor.
But cherry Jolly Rancher isn't like other cherry flavors, because I don't care for cherry, but I don't think it's. I'm not getting watermelon.
No, this is red. Sorry, not Jolly Rancher. Yeah. OG Jolly Rancher.
Yeah, the
round ones.
Round ones? No, rectangle.
What were the ones that were round? Oh, Lifesavers. Sorry, Lifesavers.
Oh!
Yeah.
Yes.
Red Lifesaver. That's what I'm getting.
The dark red one.
The darkness.
Yeah, which I think was raspberry. Which I think it's a red berry candy flavor.
Yes.
It's not like picked a berry from, an orchard or something. But
this is something like I would want. Like if I had to go someplace and wanted to drink wine in that moment, this is something that I think holds up on a warmer day. It's definitely lighter. Like I would say it's. I know they use thirst quenching, but
I mean it's a very pleasant, easy drinking wine. I don't think there's more you can. There's not much I dislike about this, and for me lately, my palate has definitely been like the full bodied, like bold.
Yeah.
This is a nice change of pace.
Yeah.
So
let's see if we end up loving it bunches.
We're doing so good.
Yep. I haven't laid out any like.
I don't think I can handle it.
I know.
After you got me all amped up,
I almost let off with it too. I had a couple in the chamber, but I opted not to.
So I did want to mention as before we get into it, I did have one in Mike's Wall Honesty Hour, and when we were talking, last episode, I brought up a song and I said, I couldn't think of who it was. It was Simon and Gar. I wasn't even close.
The season song.
Yeah. Here is the season, turn, turn. So it's called Turn, Turn, Turn by the Byrds.
Ah, the Byrds.
The Byrds with a Y.
The Byrds.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And then all I could think of was Surfing Bird. And then all I could think of is Family Guy with the Who Did It? Anyway. So, shall we get into it?
Yeah, where are we going on this adventure tonight?
Well, we're going one of two ways. We're going players you love to hate and players you hate to love. So, my friend, where do we want to go? Do we want to end on the loving side, or do we want to channel and end on the hate and bring it right into the Backpfeifengesicht?
You know what? I was actually thinking we start with the hate.
Start with the hate.
And then end with the love.
So ups and downs.
Yeah, this wine's gonna be like feeling.
Yeah, so we
not like amorous. Like I'm not ready to just
we started
take
high
my
with
pants off.
the problems of youth soccer.
Yes.
The amped up.
Yeah.
So we're gonna bring it down to the love. Then we're gonna bring it back up for the.
Yep.
No wait.
Yeah, you got it.
But then
we're going to reverse movie climax. We're going Camelback. 2 humps.
2 humps.
But the humps are negative.
So we're going players you love to hate to start.
Sure are.
Okay.
The rules were
top 3 with honorable mention.
Okay.
So we're going to go through. We'll trade back and forth. And again, just like with the best haircuts, best and worst haircuts, Ryan and I did not share with each other ahead of time, so we could have some duplicates. This could be one where we were completely different. And so, we're going to share and tell a little bit of why we picked this person for each.
All right. You begin.
My number one pick, and this was like, it couldn't have been an easier pick, was none other than infamous Diego Costa. Former Chelsea.
Great answer.
He was the biggest piece of shit. And if he was still on the team when we did Chelsea, like, hands down, he would have been the most punchable face. I fucking hated that dude. He was such a just instigator. Like, he's one of the, again, we talk about like your Luis Suarez, your Brad Marchand, like that kind of like, call him a rink rat, but like, call him a field rat. He was a guy like on your team, you loved him because he would get under everybody's skin. You'd see he'd like get away with like little shin kicks and like, because you knew he was going to get a reaction and then he was going to get the player sent off. But here's one thing. I did have him on my fantasy team because the guy didn't know how to fucking score goals. So
that is true.
I will, what? I'll take it on the chin on that one.
Yeah.
But I fucking hated him so much.
Yeah.
And his looks didn't help.
No.
The best one I ever saw was Chelsea was playing Liverpool and he was doing his antics and he tried to like stand up to Henderson and Henderson just kind of like stuck his chin out, just being like, do something, like didn't back down. And probably one of the reasons why I really loved Jordan Henderson is like he may not have been able to show, like, he had flashes, but maybe didn't show like the true bravado on the field, but he wasn't someone you were going to fuck with. Like, I would never want to try and punch him in the face. But, so my number one.
It's a good pick.
Now, like, I'm high because I'm just literally going
through your 3.
I still remember there was a game against Arsenal. I forget who it was, but same thing. He was just like kept backing up into players and like kept just like kicking him in the shit. And the announcers are watching, they're seeing this, but the refs have no idea. So finally, the Arsenal player reacts, and then obviously Costa goes down like a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
And I think Drew, I don't know if he might have even drawn a red, got the guy sent off. And I was just like, this guy,
visceral reaction
like
from you. Yeah, you...
like spit in your face. Like, that's how much like I just did not like this dude. And spitting is probably one of the worst things you can do to somebody. And I just like, oh God, he just brings it out.
Oh man.
Oh, I need to center myself before the next one, or I'm just gonna like just stop. I'm gonna wreck this place. Okay, so
that's how you start off.
Starting hot.
My first one shouldn't be a surprise. I don't want to dwell too much on it because I poured on this player. Was that just last episode?
I don't know who the player is, man.
It is Jordan Pickford.
Oh, it was. What? Yeah, it might have been last episode.
The way he carries himself, the way his bravado on the field, just I'll never forgive him, like you mentioned, for what he did to Virgil van Dijk. That should have been a dead play, and he, for whatever reason, came out of the net and cleaned him out by the legs. His face, the way he plays, how everything has to have like a dramatic flair to it. It's a shame that he is England's #1 goalkeeper. Yeah, I didn't bring the deep-seated hate because I feel like I got it out last time we talked about him. It's just every time like his face is on the TV when they come out with the kids with the mascots and I'm like, this motherfucker, like dumb face. Anyway, so that's my first pick.
Okay. My second pick is, and he'll get his day when we move on from the Premier League for the most punchable face. But my second pick is good old Mouth of Marbles, Harry Kane. First of all, I cannot stand how British announcers and like media absolutely slobber all over this dude's probably pathetic
tongue bathe. So to interject real quick, he was my third pick.
Well, we knew we were going to have one. So one, I mean, there's one thing he can't do anything about it because it's a speech impediment, but I fucking hate anytime he opens his mouth. That's mean, but sorry.
Does he actually open his mouth? Because I saw an interview the other day where they have him like signed jerseys and they put like an Arsenal one there. It's like,
it looks like
them. Like, dude, did you even move your mouth to make that noise?
It looks like he just like was talking with rocks in his mouth.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's that. He has this move which I can't fucking stand because it's really going to get somebody hurt. There's a ball in the air. Mm-hmm. He will see it coming. He'll see the opposing player coming in. Wait till they leave their feet.
Yeah.
And then he'll put his ass backside into the player and fall down like he's got fouled, where the player fucking goes head over heels. Yeah. It could really hurt their neck.
Yeah.
He's done it multiple. He did it to Adam Lallana, and you know my soft spot for Adam Lallana.
Do.
So that was strike 2.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
Strike 3, which again kind of talks about his mentality and the fact that he should have left Tottenham so many years ago. Mm-hmm. If he cared about his legacy, his career, rather than just individual acolytes, he would have seen the writing on the wall when so many other teams wanted him. He would have done whatever he had to do to leave. Instead, he cared about things just like golden boots. And to the point where there was a game where initially it was called a Harry Kane goal, but upon review, they did the camera angles. It looked like it never touched him. It was a Christian Eriksen free kick. Christian Eriksen gets the goal. Okay. You think, all right, that's it. It's over.
Yeah.
The game is over, right? They're doing like the post-match. Harry Kane makes a point to say, I wouldn't lie. It was my goal. It was my goal.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you fucking selfish piece of shit. Like, I'm back up.
He's also a perpetual loser. Like I hope he doesn't win a goddamn thing in his career.
I'm pretty sure Bayern Munich have won the Bundesliga 8 times in a row.
Yes.
The first time not only did they not win the Bundesliga, they didn't win a single goddamn thing.
He's out for himself, just proverbial and perpetual
Yeah, and I think
loser.
he waited too long. Now he's I mean, he is still a talented footballer. I'm not going to deny that.
Yeah.
He's a piece of shit, but I think he deserves exactly what he gets, and hopefully that's nothing because he waited way too long.
Yeah.
Moments passed. Go fucking
Like, that's going to be his legacy of, like, oh, yeah, he was good. He scored a bunch of goals, but, like, just forever a loser.
Yeah. So that's my second pick of players I love to hate.
Well, that was my third pick, so we don't have to rehash that.
Fantastic.
My second pick is Neymar. And the reason why I love to hate this player, one, because I think he looks fucking ridiculous. We've brought up his hair. I think he gets put in this like attractiveness pedestal by a lot of people. Like, in being in a school where there's a very large Brazilian population, every kid walks around with a friggin' Neymar Jr. like jersey, and the girl's like, "Oh my god, Neymar!" Because they don't pronounce the R's. Oh, he's so.
I mean, we don't pronounce it anyway, too.
He's so hot.
With
He's
the
so
Boston
like,
accent.
This dude, he's just like, he has had a long and I wouldn't say, well, with his country, a successful career.
I mean, he's had a pretty successful career with Barcelona.
I feel like there's just too much flash to his game, and a lot of that is culturally backed. Like, the Brazilians have a flair for the dramatic when it comes to soccer. Everything has to be flashy, and look how many people I can dribble through, which also fucking drives me insane. And I feel like he is the poster child for this generation of like, oh, I need to play like him and try to dribble through everybody and go down a little too easy. And that, as a coach, drives me up a fucking wall.
But to that point, you're talking about like the theatricality and, drawing the fouls. There was a point, I forget how many World Cups ago, but the announcers were like, oh, look at that, Neymar's down again. And just kind of like being like, come on, man. And he actually got a knee to the back and fractured a vertebrae. But it was just kind of like the boy who cried wolf. Yeah. Like, you do it so many times that it was just like...
Yeah, that's sure.
It was, I'm pretty sure, the same tournament. They were like, it was Uruguay, and they were going down left and right. And they were like, oh, big surprise, the Uruguayan's down.
Yeah.
And he like got like an elbow to the head and was just like very concussed. And he's just like, oh, he's like, I'm going to have to apologize for my previous remarks. He's like, that man is actually injured. So, no, Neymar, great pick.
Yeah, I respect the majority of the professional football players because they're doing something that is incredible in a physical, but very talented feat. But like those three people, when I see them come on the TV, I have like an internal visceral reaction of anger.
Yeah.
So I don't really hate anybody or anything.
So my third pick was Ryan Giggs. And the reason I picked Ryan Giggs was more on a personal level than a professional level, and it's more because infidelity goes up my ass fucking sideways. And Ryan Giggs was, not only did he cheat, but he cheated with his brother's wife.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, like, talk about an ultimate scumbag move. And again, I've, thankfully, in this walk of life, I found, an amazing wife. I have an amazing daughter. But, like, in previous relationships, I was cheated on, and it fucking hurt, and it fucking sucked.
It's the worst.
And so it's just, like, there's always, I think, like, you can have a conversation, you can be honest. Like, again, I'm a very confrontational person. If I have something to say to you, I'm going to say it. It might be awkward, it might be uncomfortable, but, like, I'm not going to shy away from it. And I think, like, we'd all be better if we just said what we feel. So that'll...
An 8-year affair?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
Dude. Big old cheating piece of shit. And so again, obviously the two are more of like the first two wanted to a professional level.
Like his family does not acknowledge him anymore. Yeah. I mean, he's a full-blown piece of shit.
Yeah. As they should. As they should. So he was a very easy pick, but obviously for a different reason. I think as a footballer, he was actually very talented and had a lot of acolytes with Manchester United. But on a personal level, he's a scumbag, he's a tool, he's a douche, and there's special places in hell for for people like that.
Sure is. Fuck
And-
that guy.
Yeah. So that was my third pick. And since obviously Harry Kane was your third, did you have an honorable mention?
I did not. No, I like I said, I'm not.
Maybe I carry just more hate.
I
than
just
you.
don't like. There's no one that stood out that made me as viscerally angry as those three. There's a couple players I'm like, they bothered me here, or there, like, but nothing really.
Bernardo Silva was my honorable mention.
Oh, that's a really good one too.
Again, and these are all very talented people, and I don't hate them because like they don't play for Liverpool and they're not talented.
Yeah.
Bernardo Silva is a piece of
That's a
shit,
really
and
good one.
I love to hate him
Oh.
because he was the one player when, again, the first time in 30 years Liverpool wins the title, he's the only one standing there on the guard of honor who doesn't clap. It's little things, but it's just like
That's
it's a matter
right.
of it's a
Fuck
matter
that
of
guy.
it's a matter of respect, and his head is too large for his body.
Sorry. Keep going.
So that's I'm not going to dwell on that one as an honorable mention, but anytime I see him, I wish not harm, but I just like I would like want him for the rest of his life to like buy a brand new pair of shoes and then take a first step and step in dog shit.
Yeah.
And like not like
Yeah.
dried up dog shit, like fresh, like
steamy.
and I
doobie.
hope the shoes have like really good grooves underneath.
No,
so
I
like
get-
it gets in there and like you're
Yeah.
gonna go through like 30 something toothpicks to get all
Yeah.
the dog shit out. That's what I hope
that's
for
a
his
good one.
life. Yeah.
My honorable mention. Now that I've given
Now
it,
okay.
Sergio Ramos.
Ooh.
I've always since I've like followed soccer more.
Also because of the thing he did.
Yeah, the thing in Mo Salah,
yeah.
and I feel like he always plays on the edge, and the edge leans a little bit more towards sometimes dirty than necessarily
Correct.
effective.
And I think
And
there's
he has that reputation.
yes.
So-
we always talk about like the physicality of the game.
Yeah.
I love the physicality of the game, but there's a difference between being physical, hard tackles, and just
I think he takes too many liberties.
yes.
Yeah, so that's it. That would be my
He
honorable
also concussed Loris Karius, and we all know how that turned out for that Champions League final as well.
Yeah.
2 infractions.
Yep.
So that's a good pick. All right. How many players that you hate to love do you have?
3.
Okay, so I'll go first.
Okay.
This should come as no surprise. The player that I hate to love is Darwin Núñez.
Don't have to love him.
You do. I do. So I don't know what it is. It could just be like just his face, his childlike simplicity.
He was almost in my like love to hate category.
You don't love to hate him. You just because it's so frustrating.
Yeah, sure is.
You can't take joy in that because he's obviously a Liverpool player. So
I
it
know.
wouldn't be on. But there's parts of me that wants to give up on him. I can't do it.
Can't do it.
He scores a hat trick for Uruguay. Now again, they were 3 tap-ins, but right place, right time. You still gotta put foot to ball.
Hey.
So like, it's there. The potential is there. And again, he just has like this like childlike innocence. Like anytime he smiles, I'm just like I just want to like pinch his cheek and be like, "Oh, Darwin," and then just like caress him, like, "It's gonna be okay, sweetie. Like you're gonna find it. Like you just snake bitten. Like the confidence is gonna be there."
Dearie. Vamos.
Yeah, vamos. So, and then I was, kind of when we're talking about like I was trying to get away from loving him. Like I was like, oh, like he's missed too many chances.
Yep. You
Then
came to my side for
just a hot second. But then social media pops up. There's this like asshat YouTuber who was like on the street and like he's handcuffed to his girlfriend for some fucking reason. Again, he's a useless piece of shit. Anyway.
Yeah.
So Darwin Núñez is on the street and he's taking pictures with fans, and this guy is just like, "Oh, who is this guy?" Like, I'm gonna take a picture with him. Like, just kidding. And then like goes up to Darwin to like take a picture, and Darwin just looks at him and just like fucking just keeps on walking, like want nothing to do with him. I was just like, I text Pat, I'm like, "Back on the train, baby, Darwin for life." So again, there are parts of me that want to give up on him because we're 2 seasons in. The numbers aren't what they should be, but I can't. I won't. So my number 1 player that I hate, that I love, but I do love him so much, is Darwizzy.
I figured he would be on your list. That is very unsurprising. The top of my list should come as no surprise to you as well.
It might be my number 2.
Okay. I went with Jordan Henderson.
You hate to love him? You love Jordan Henderson?
No, it's the same reason you love Darwin Nunez. Like, he's
Yeah, but
on
anytime you talk to me, you always just shit talking him. I think you just hate Jordan Henderson.
Maybe I do.
Do you love? Like,
I don't know.
Do you actually love?
Do
you know what love is?
Do I understand
I
emotion?
want to know.
I want to know what love is.
Do you know what love is?
I don't know.
What do you like when I
feel it every time I look into my
when I say,
tall,
hey,
beautiful wife's eyes.
Okay, hey, lineups in.
Yeah.
Jordan Henderson starting in the
Fuck.
midfield. I don't think you love Jordan Henderson.
You had to sit me down and explain to me like his importance on the team, and I still didn't get it.
Would you like me to reiterate?
No,
I'm going to do it.
it's again.
It's happening.
I brought this internet like reel up several times of Iron Man talking to Thor, and Thor looks around and it's like Southgate's midfielders, and it's like two really good choices, and it just says like Henderson as he looks around the side. I understand he is a in-game manager. I can't think maybe one quality goal I remember him scoring and be like, wow, like it's a good poke. And that bothered me for a while. That's why I hate that I love him, because he was our captain. He was, a managerial and locker room glue to the team. But that's why I hate to love him.
So I will say, I think you can never know what's happening behind the curtain, right? Behind closed doors.
Right.
I feel like whatever injury he was battling with, like his heel, was more detrimental than was let on, because anytime he took a shot, it was side-footed. So it was always placement.
Yeah.
Where like there was earlier in his career, like he hit some absolute belters.
Yeah.
I also think that part going against him was being the captain who immediately followed your legend.
It's tough to be the guy after the
Steven
guy.
Gerrard. He's never going to match up. But what I did like about him, again, I would get frustrated with how many sideways passes. But when he did pass the ball forward, he really had some nice vision. What I loved about Jordan Henderson is how he held everybody to that standard. If you weren't meeting it, he was going to tell you about it.
Mm-hmm.
He was vocal, good, bad. He was a general on the field, like rallying the troops. And I love Virgil. I don't think he has that same quality. Obviously, Virgil's a fantastic defender, but I don't think he has that same quality to command the pitch for 90 minutes. I think there's moments, but I don't think he can do it for 90. So I appreciate that you put him on there.
Yeah, I'm just getting some tasting notes I didn't get before.
Okay. So my player that I hate to love, and I thought he was going to be your number one pick, was Kevin De Bruyne.
He's my number 2.
Oh, okay. I figured he was on there because, again, obviously Man City. And again, I hate Man City.
Yeah.
And I want justice to be served. But
you respect that the players on the field are playing the game.
Yeah, like they came like, they didn't know. Well, I mean, they could have known.
Yeah.
Whatever. But anyway, Kevin De Bruyne, easily the best midfielder of our generation.
Yeah.
Phenomenal talent, game changer. He's 33, by the way. I don't think I realized how old he was.
Again, when you say that, it doesn't make me
old
feel great.
For a Premier League midfielder.
Okay.
So I mean, he's thinking of he looking at like the Saudi option, because again, in his career, like the money is just too good to pass up.
Yeah.
But I actually know that him and Virgil's kids are good friends. They actually go to the same school. But I have all the respect in the world for him as a person. I think he's
got a fascinating story.
Fascinating story. I think he's very just like mild mannered. Like you don't ever see him like really like doing anything outlandish. Like he may flop here and there, which is like whatever. Like everybody does it, but interviews, I think he's just very well spoken. He's polite, and he's just. I mean, I would take him in a heartbeat, even at 33 at Liverpool. But obviously, the love is there, but the hate is there because it's Manchester City. So yeah, mine is Kevin De Bruyne.
I second that.
Yeah,
I mean, you pretty much covered it. Just a guy who plays the game the way it's supposed to be played. Out there, doesn't do anything overly flashy. Is just consistent as consistent can be, and that's what I love.
Who is your number 3?
My number 3 is purely superficial because I don't know. Again, for as an emotional as like
you hate that you're attracted to this person.
it kind of
Is it David Beckham?
Oh no.
Oh,
I would never.
you
be
just
ashamed
that's
I
a
would never
love.
be
That's a
ashamed
love.
of
Love.
that.
That's a deep one down in my loins. Love.
Oh, he has the pleats in my pants.
Yeah. Spit on it.
I don't think I understand emotion. I think I just like for someone who's
You're not-
emotional, like I don't.
The Jordan Henderson really threw me because
Am I-
that would have been
Am
like
I just fucking cold inside?
You're not cold. I don't think you understood the assignment.
Yeah, probably.
You know,
Maybe it's just because I have so much amorous affection for my tall, beautiful wife that is just
there's not enough for anybody else.
It's not enough for anyone. else.
Feels good for the guy on the opposite end of the table that you hang out with.
Hetero.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Sorry. Yeah. Still.
I'm so sorry. I'm just crying. Love you bunches. Take a sip, and I want you to look at me after you take the sip, because I get like something weird going on over here.
Fizzy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's finish this.
Anyway, my third one, I had to rack my brain for this list a lot. The last one, I was like, who do I hate to love, and why would Adama Traore?
Okay.
Because he's a fucking unit. Like, I hate to love him because he was carved out of fucking marble.
With, like, again, he says it doesn't work out. It's just genetics.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. And he was so goddamn fast. But towards the end of his playing time at Wolves, he became like a one-trick pony, where it's just like, oh my god, look how fast he is. Like, you gotta be careful for Torrey. Like, he's gonna blow right by you. Like, you gotta respect that speed. It's like, yes, but also, like,
he's not gonna do anything.
What is he gonna do?
Yeah. He was a pace merchant.
Yeah.
And he, by the way, just grease up his arms.
Dude was...
All it reminds me of is the Replacements, and he's just like, come on, coach, it looks like you just jacked off an elephant.
Yeah.
You know this ain't natural.
Dude was a fucking unit.
Yeah, he was.
So I guess that's why I hate to love him, because, like, he had a body type that doesn't match up with a traditional soccer body type, and he was outrageously fast and just, like, super, super athletic.
Yeah.
But towards the tail end of his time at Wolves, it did get tiring every time they were on TV. It'd be like, you know how fast he is, right? Like,
yeah,
look at
because he was just like,
specimen.
he was going to put himself into like great positions and then absolutely just
as
like
as I'm watching the games on a Sunday morning, putting down another fucking cinnamon bun as the crumbs are just pouring on my fucking stomach. Like, this is fine. Not anymore though. Beachbody ready.
I'm not Beachbody ready.
You look great.
I'm basement video game ready. Online troll ready. All right, I'll hit you with my 3 and 4. My 3, and this is only very recent development.
Okay,
is Roy Keane.
Oh, that's a great. Your picks are better than mine.
Yeah,
they are.
It's fine.
Okay.
So Roy Keane, again, as a Manchester United player, I mean, as just Manchester United, like I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
You know, he wouldn't have been my cup of tea, but. And still, every now and again, I would just say his very blunt, honest opinions does rub me the wrong way. But there's, again, and we're talking about today's climate where everybody tiptoes like, oh, don't say anything. You'll offend this person. You'll offend this person.
Yeah.
You know, he just like, he's going to fucking tell it like it is.
Yeah.
And
he's the Charles Barkley of football.
Yeah. But it's just like, I mean, some of the stuff that comes out is great, and like so I've been watching like some of the other like podcasts he does with like Carragher and just like kind of them now like rehashing some of his stories and his explanations. I find myself laughing. So again, purely from the fact that he was a Manchester United legend, but yeah, Roy Keane is my 3rd pick, and my last pick is Luis Suarez.
I figured that would come up at some point,
and. One, because as a Liverpool fan, like, again, kind of like on the opposite end, like Diego Costa, like I'm sure it was the same for Chelsea fans.
Love him when you're on your team.
Love him, like his persistence, his, you know, but like he I mean, you talk about theatricality and, playing in today's climate with VAR, like, forget it.
Yeah.
There would have been so many going against him. I mean, he may be a racist. Who knows? He definitely bites people. But
Sure
again,
does.
if you're, we're going to defend, like, if you had his set of chompers, I would, I know.
Yeah.
I know we're hitting a nerve there. But I would use those too. I mean, you use what God gave you, and
Sure do.
he's got horse teeth, and so yeah. And then going to Barcelona again, it was great watching him link up with Messi and even Neymar and the numbers they put up and the trophies they won. But then coming back to Anfield, and so again, I love him for what he did for Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Sturridge single-handedly, well, not single-handedly, but the both of them put that team on their back and almost won us a Premier League. And so, yeah, my honorable mention is Luis Suarez.
That's a great pick.
So, talking about things that we love that might also be pieces of shit, shall we turn to what has happened with this wine?
So when we took the refill break,
something weird. I don't know if I should have, with such a light wine, I don't know if like the aerator is necessary because it's adding air bubbles, but there's all of a sudden a fizz to it. Is it still there?
not as much.
So maybe it was just but we like.
I also just took a drink of like ice cold water, so I don't know. You give it a rip, because I made the expression of Mike of like pure and utter surprise and just started pointing to the wine while he was talking because it had like
it's mellowed. It's mellowed out. So yes, we were like kind of like I don't want to say it, but you say it. I don't want to say it.
What happened?
There was definitely we'll give the benefit of the doubt that it was the little decanting device or aerating device that maybe just added too many air bubbles.
Variables.
But it's I mean it hasn't changed much. I'm not tasting the watermelon. I am tasting again like that Lifesaver, like dark raspberry, candied fruit. It is what it is. It's a very light, easy drinking wine. I honestly would have liked to try it chilled.
Yeah.
Because I mean, as easy as it's going down now, having it chilled would be just
Yeah, I feel like this would be like a good
poolside
or like a
if you're not feeling beer, it's a nice poolside like throw it. This doesn't, this is definitely one that can be in a stemless glass, plastic with ice and still very enjoyable.
I think this would be a choice of, follow me on this, like a rehearsal dinner that's outdoors pre-wedding where it's a little bit on the lighter side. You can still be drinking wine, look classy as fuck because you're probably dressed up, but also
not with ice in it.
Not with ice in it, but I would imagine it would be chilled already.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But like
right,
an outside wine, slightly business casual or better.
Yeah, I think you go up either end. You can
I'm wearing
that.
boat shoes. I'm not wearing boat shoes now. Yeah,
but you could go that route, or again, like I said, you're poolside. You throw it in like
boom, plastic tumbler.
Right, exactly,
yep.
And serves its purpose. It's going to get you where you need to go. You could smash. I mean, you could smash this whole bottle and be feeling fine. Like I have no. I don't think I've drinking enough water. We know that's usually my MO.
You don't say.
I have no worries about smashing this entire bottle and then waking up and feeling.
Yeah.
So there you have it. We'll see where we rank in the final closeout of the episode, but it is time to bring it back up to an 11 and get us in the mood for the Backpfeifen Gesicht.
Oh, I can't wait. Let's do it.
So the team we chose this week was Brentford, and solely for the reason that we've kind of gone through most of the teams and just going through the last four that still exist in the Premier League.
Yeah.
We didn't have any write-ins, so it's just Ryan and I talking about who we want to punch in the face. So Ryan, I'll let you go first.
Oh, thank you. Again, this is a team that I don't have really any
animosity
for.
I love the coach.
Yeah.
I think Ivan Toney's a great player.
Yeah.
Actually, I mean Bueno is another one.
Bueno. But I couldn't really like Neil Mbappe. Like
Neil Maupay's that would have been the easy. That was almost too
and
easy.
then that's why yeah.
Did you pick him?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, other than the three that you mentioned, like there's really not a whole lot of names or folks that like flashed at me, so I had to go based purely on physical appearance. And I chose 23-year-old Mikkel Damsgaard. He's a Danish midfielder. Mikkel Damsgaard. He's got like a Megamind thing going on where he's got that big old cranium, which I feel is a pattern here on Vino Volley of like small chins, massive domes.
Or we could really just be kind of onto something that the amount of heading in this league is causing cranial damage.
It just smashes the
and
brain.
So Premier League, if you're a listener, might want to take a little bit of a serious note on those concussions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is that's a 6 head.
Yeah, there's
and
a
a
couple of
4 head.
pictures too where, and I think he's got like a receding hairline thing going on where like eventually he's
now
going
I'm
down.
triggered.
No, but you.
No, I mean,
Yeah, but you get the head for it. I think.
yeah, if he shaved his head, that'd
like,
be tough.
No, he's gonna look
It'd be
like,
like
he's a newborn baby.
Or blowing up a balloon.
That's true.
Or like when you like, who is it who takes like the rubber glove and like puts it up over the nose and it just goes and blows in it until they fucking pass out? Like that's what is.
Oh man,
that would be his anyway.
Yeah, I again couldn't pick him out of a crowd. I don't necessarily remember him playing, but I also based on pure physical appearance,
right?
Big old dome. The fact he's 23 years old, and then
what's his size?
Yeah. Doesn't say how tall he is, but he's 146 pounds, so I know I have both height, weight, and quite possibly physical superiority over this player.
There you go.
Yeah, so I feel better now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my pick,
Mikkel Damsgaard.
my pick, and I will throw it up on the big screen
Please
here.
do. Jesus Christ, what is that? That's a child.
No, he's an
That's
adult.
a child.
He's an adult.
Oh, what do they consider an adult over there?
Date of birth, May 2nd, 2003.
Oh, gross. 21?
Yeah.
Look. Yeah, he's the backup goalie on my U10 team.
And it's, dude, so literally so this is from the Brentford official website.
God
and it's
damn.
literally this one picture. If you pull up any other,
God.
sorry, it is, I don't know if he's the third goal. He's the goalkeeper. Is Matthew Cox is the player. Yeah. And he looks like just a dude who's like, I love Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
And like Home Alone and Home Alone 2 and Sticky Bandits.
Yeah, but he also looks so young and innocent that he's probably just like...
Just so happy to be here.
No, he's probably just like, he's got like a closet of severed dicks in his house. Like, it's just... He knows where the bodies are buried.
I mean, again, like, so I think it was more the fact that
you're
a professional athlete. You look at, like, if you do a Google search and pull this guy up, any other picture, he's just a normal, like, 20-something-year-old. But, like, this is your official team photo, and, again, thought you were just like, I nailed it.
Yeah, he's going to a 10th grade Spanish after this.
Yeah, like, it looks like he's gonna run to a
alarming.
house and start setting up booby traps for burglars who are gonna come in. So yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's just like it's
what
just
is
bad.
Where's he from? Oh, he's
from England. I mean, I don't feel good about it, but it was just again.
I feel like I'm eviscerating a child right now.
I mean, 21. I get it at this point. Like, I mean, legally you're an adult, but like, I mean, that's literally just walking into like any college or university and just punching a junior or senior.
Oh, that's true.
As like a almost 40-year-old, you're not getting away with that. So like, if you put it in that context, yeah, it's weird. But I just, again, didn't really have any ill will towards, like, no one really stood out. But this this picture, this official team photo is so fucking terrible.
I don't care for it.
Like, I think I'd be again, maybe my mindset was I'd be doing him a favor by punching him, and maybe like take a picture of his reaction of getting hit would be better than this photo. So it's obviously going to be the one I posted. So for our listeners, you're going to be able to partake in how fucking ridiculous he looks. But that's my Backpfeifen Gesicht. So now that we've kind of wrapped that up, let's talk about the team that we will be choosing for next week is none other than Crystal Palace. And actually, there's a loose tie-in to the wine, which obviously ties into the topic. But before we do that, let's kind of wrap up our review of this wine, give our scores, and then I will have Rye Guy reveal the wine and kind of talk about how that ties into our next episode. So, Rye, do you want to go first? Because I feel like I'm pretty set.
Go with it.
All right. So, very easy drinking wine.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely tart.
Yep.
A lot of red berry candied fruit.
Yes.
Nice dry finish. I think it's a enjoyable wine. I would have liked. We've got a little bit left. I might chill it to see. I mean, I won't rescore because we did what we did, and we've never done bottles differently.
Trustworthy gentleman.
But I think this is probably. And again, I'm not a white wine guy. I like red, but it is tough during the summertime where, like last night, I had a very nice cab, and not only was I sweating, but I shit you not, I looked down and a button had opened on my shirt. Like I was just like, I don't remember this much chest showing.
It's about to get sexy in
and
here.
It was just like, I was at my brother's house, so hopefully not. But it's just like you sweat. So I think like being able to have a nice lighter wine in the holster for the summer, especially one that specifically says chilled, is good. So I'm going to give this a 7.5.
Love it. This is a wine that you would probably want to, like I said, drink outside on a warmer evening at an event or an occasion. I think 10 out of 10, you could bring this and it would be a hit. Would drink again, 7.7.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it's good.
Yeah. So, tying everything together, Rye, why don't you tell the folks what we're going to be drinking next week?
All right. So the wine we're going to be drinking next time is a 2018. Is called The Burn. Born of Fire is a Cab Sav, as they say in the business.
So, how this all ties in,
Oh.
and obviously Crystal Palace, there being a large bird of prey on the bottle. But also, I thought it was, I think I put it as like a bald eagle, but we are going to be tackling the U.S. men's national team as we're kind of in the throes of Copa America. We've had a few friendlies right now, once against Colombia, which was a fucking dumpster fire, which I'll rehash, and then Brazil. I think it's time that we actually talk about the state of the national team where, basically it's just going to be everything U.S. men's national team. So obviously with that being, a large bird, I'm going to say bald eagle, and Crystal Palace having we'll go with bald eagle. Hawk.
It's not a bald eagle.
Whatever. It's a large bird. And it's a California cab, so United States, California.
It'd be a condor.
But anyway, so it all ties together, and that is what we're going to be talking about and drinking. So, we are at that time again where we would love to keep going, but after VAR review, we are officially out of wine, and thus we'll need to put the final cork on this episode and say, listen to us next time on another exciting episode of Vino Volley. So Ryan,
Yep,
you know what to do.
I do. Check on your volunteer coaches, folks. Make sure they're okay. They go through a lot, taking care of your kids and stuff. But more importantly, remember, always sip and soccer responsibly. We bid you a Freddy adieu.